the Chicago Bulls have failed at their tank after going all in at the deadline with a whole bunch of different guards and moves that were a little bit questionable at the trade deadline. And after the trade deadline, we kind of thought about, oh, the Chicago Bulls might be tanking. But they kind of lost their chances there and ruined that. And tonight, the Chicago Bulls get blown out by the Toronto Raptors. We're going to get into that right after this. So, welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. I've been pretty busy here at school, but the Chicago Bulls here tonight get blown out by the Toronto Raptors, 139-109. And the Toronto Raptors are a pretty good team, to be honest. Going into this game, you got to look at the matchups. You know, they have RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, and a bunch of different role players that are very good at what they do. You know, Scotty Barnes as well. So in this game, Bulls get outscored in the first quarter 32-17. Very bad start for the Chicago Bulls. They then get outscored 40-28 in the second quarter, so they're down a lot by half. It's just looking like a blowout game here after just one half. And that's kind of what you expect from this Bulls team. It's a bit of a shaky team. You know, we kind of talked about how we thought the Bulls were going to be tanking, but they completely failed at that going out of this trade deadline. But we'll get into that in a minute. Looking into the third quarter, get outscored 36-31, not as bad. They actually outscore the Toronto Raptors in the fourth quarter 33-31, getting blown out 139-109. But looking at this game, there's one key positive to take away, and that is Modest Buzelis. Looking at Modest Buzelis, there's actually, I could say two key positives to take away from this. Modest Buzelis, we'll go three. Modest Buzelis, Rob Dillingham, and Leonard Miller. Those three players really stood out to me in this game. Modest Buzelis this game, 19 points, 7 boards, led the team in both those categories. He had 19 points, 7 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. Pretty efficient night from the field, 6 for 15 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3. You know, he likes to shot chuck with the 3-point, but I think that'll eventually kind of come together for him, and I think he'll be pretty good with that. But then you have Leonard Miller. Honestly, Leonard Miller has been very, very good. An outstanding player. You know, he's with these injuries and the riddled Chicago Bulls that we have, Leonard Miller has really taken an opportunity of the minutes that he has been given. He played 27 minutes this game, 13 points, 6 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 rebounds. And looking at that stat line, it doesn't stand out to anything crazy. But watching him play basketball on the basketball court with the Chicago Bulls, it's very fluent. He knows his game and knows how he wants to play, and he plays the way he wants to. And it shows in the stat sheet, as you can tell. But when you're watching the game, and when he's on the court with Modest and Josh Giddey and people like that, you can tell he's very comfortable in the position and the role that he is playing. And I think Leonard Miller is definitely could be a steal later on down the line in the future if the Chicago Bulls decide to keep him, which I do think they should. Then, last key positive takeaway from this game would be Rob Dillingham. Rob played 25 minutes, 15 points, 7, 11 shooting, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Just kidding. I looked at the wrong stat line. Rob Dillingham, 15 points, 7, 11 shooting, 4 assists, 1 turnover, and a block. I was looking at Colin Sexton's stat line. That's my fault. But Rob Dillingham is also another player to take out away from this game. And Rob Dillingham is raw talent. We still have a lot that we need to see from Rob. And he is a player that still has to show that he can provide and play with an NBA team. You know, Rob has really shown sparks and spurts of being a really good passer, a really good scorer at times, but sometimes he's very on and off when he's on the court. So we got to see a little more out of him and a little more consistent of play. But Rob Dillingham tonight really played very, very well. There were some stinker games tonight here. Josh Giddey, 9 points, 4 for 13 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3, 0 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, and 1 steal. Then you got Trey Jones, 6 points, 3 of 8 shooting, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 steals. So looking at this game as a whole, this is what you expect from this Bulls team, to be honest. But the Bulls have completely failed this tank. They're all over the place. You know, they play very competitive basketball at one point in one game, and then they go from there and don't play competitive basketball at all. Looking at like that Golden State game where they went to overtime, winning 130 to 124, where Modest had 41. That's a game that looked really good. Leonard Miller looked really good. Modest looked really good. Josh Giddey looked really good. Everything was just falling together. All the pieces were falling together, and everybody just looked really good. They looked like a team. And then you go on to the Lakers game. They lose that. Clippers game, lose that. You know, they're all over the place. They're up and down. You know, this month it's been a little shaky, to be honest. But as a Chicago Bulls fan, I mean, this is what you expect to see from this team. They're all over the place all the time. We've seen this for the past 6 years, and to be honest, don't expect anything different. But another topic I kind of want to get into to end this video off is Modest Buzelis. I really think Modest Buzelis should be in the running for most improved player. 16 points this year, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 46% from the field. In the month of March, he is averaging 23 points on 45% shooting, 35% from 3. You know, that could be improved a little bit. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, and almost a steal per game. And he's shooting 86% from the line. So looking at this, I think the Chicago Bulls have found themselves their star. You know, we've seen spurts of how great he can be and how aggressive and dominant he can be. But this month of March, he has really shown that to us as fans. You know, you got to be really excited for Modest. Modest, Josh Giddey are the future, and them playing alongside each other is very good. You know, Josh Giddey didn't have the best of games tonight, but Modest played very efficient tonight, 31 minutes, 40% from the field, and he's young. He's still developing. He's still a very young player developing. He was the 11th pick in the 24 draft, and he still has a lot of time to develop. And he's only 21 years old, and he's scoring like this. So there's a lot of positives to take away from Modest Buzelis' play from just this month of March. But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this play from the Chicago Bulls and how this tank has kind of failed for them. But that'll be all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.